in the place. Da-na-na-na, Mac and Perry.
Go live to create.
Da-na-na-na, Mac and Perry. Invite you to stay.
Welcome to Tell a Story. I'm on location here in Fort McMurray. I'm Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is my co-host,
Daniel J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. And this is...
Rhonda Robinson, local Métis artist and community volunteer.
Great. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Rhonda. We're excited to learn about your business and your creative practice and beading and all those great things. The first segment, though, is kind of, we call the icebreaker segment. And we just have some games we play to kind of get to know each other, kind of outside of our creative practice. And it's fun. We think it's fun. So hopefully have fun.
I like icebreakers.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
The first one we do is a little very basic trivia.
Okay.
How are you at trivia?
Depends. Can I use my phone?
No.
Oh.
But we just wrote some very basic Fort McMurray trivia so people can learn about Fort McMurray.
I'm pretty familiar with the community, as long as it's not culinary stuff.
No.
Okay.
Probably not. Yeah. So I will ask the first question.
Okay.
So when I was learning about Fort McMurray, I found that recently there was a census that they did that came out. And so I found some interesting things about that. And I thought, well, that's kind of a fun thing to ask someone if they have any ideas about. So in the 2025 municipal census, what was the average age of a Fort McMurray resident? And then it's multiple choice, and I would give you the national average is 41.
I think it shocks people, but I think it's around 35.
Okay.
It used to be. It used to be quite young, what I would consider young.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not exactly the number I have, but so we have A, 29,
Yeah.
B, 33, C, 40, or D, 44?
33.
Yeah, 33, yeah, so 35, 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a young community.
Right, very young, yeah.
Lots
And
of
then
families.
If you had to guess, like more men or women, do you think?
Men.
Yeah.
Probably 3 to 1.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, no. Apparently, and I don't know if this counts like people who work here and don't live here, but it's 53% men and 46 women.
Oh,
so
it's
only slightly more for the community.
I think it's just the people who actually reside.
Yeah. They don't,
Because there's a lot that work.
Sure, they don't actually just go away.
Oh,
so
I learned something.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll have Daniel ask another Fort McMurray-based trivia question for you.
Awesome. Yes, Fort McMurray is quite far north. So approximately how many nights a year could you see the Aurora Borealis? Approximately. Is it A, 100 out of 365? Is it B, 300 out of 365? C, 200 plus? Or D, only ever visible on Christmas Eve?
Well, it's not D. I would say 200 plus, maybe 300. 200 plus.
200 plus?
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Let's see.
Yes.
Approximately 200 plus.
Plus.
Yeah.
Two for two. Good stuff. Nice. Now we're gonna flip the table a little bit. If that's the expression. We have two trivia questions that we've written about each other for each other. So I'll have that top one. There's the question about Daniel for me. So you're gonna ask me the question.
Okay.
And I'm gonna answer it. And we'll see if I get it right.
Okay. Healing through culture and creativity is a large focus for my practice. Shortly after graduating, Daniel was fortunate enough to attend Cairo's blanket exercise during a community theater summit at Banff Center, where he learned which of the following facts. A, the last residential school closed in 1996, the year Daniel was born. B, First Nation reserves constitute less than 1% of Canada's total landmass. C, we are all treaty people. Or D, all of the above.
It's interesting, because when you were reading those, I thought maybe A or B, but then you said C, and I thought, if you C, I'm going to say D, all of the above.
D is the right answer.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's lots of learning going on.
Very good.
Nice.
And this P.S. Fact Day has since been updated to 1997, the last residential school closed.
So he'll change his birthday.
Yeah.
All right. All right, now we've got a question about me for Daniel.
Okay.
Let's see if he gets it.
Oh, the size is bigger. That's good. My business, Spirit Creative, offers cultural experiences. Michael work sometimes involves attending cultural experiences, typically in Southern Alberta. What was the last cultural experience Michael took part in? A historic mining tour in the Crow's Nest Pass. B, a pipe ceremony at the Kainai Nation. C, calf roping demonstration near Manyberries, or D, a ride on a carriage in Cardston?
Ooh, lots of fun things there. I don't know that you've told me about any of those. So, I was quite captured by C, which was the
Calf roping demonstration near
I'm gonna-
Manyberries.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Do you want to guess again?
No.
No.
what is it?
Pipe ceremony with the Kainai Nation.
Nice.
Is Kainai in Calgary?
No, Southern
No,
Alberta,
okay.
yeah.
I've heard of it before, but
Yeah, it was the Kainai Ecosystem Protection Association Summit.
mm,
Yeah, it's fun.
yeah, it's a powerful ceremony. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Want me to put that there?
Sure. Okay, great. That's
We
fun.
can't get them all.
Yeah, no, but we got most of it.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
that was good.
Yeah. So the next one we have is this or that, and we just
Okay.
have two little things on a piece of paper. So it might be cats or dogs,
Oh,
coffee or tea,
gotcha.
and then we'll just pull one out, and then we'll all answer our preferences. There's no wrong
Okay.
answers. It's just whatever you like. So we get to know each other. So I guess you were asking questions. So why don't you pull one out, and I will answer the first one. Well, I'll answer them, but I'll go first.
Theme park or museum?
Yes, get this one a lot. Yeah, I would say generally museum. I think I like kind of quieter spaces to think, and although I don't know if I can appreciate all different types of art, it's nice to appreciate different arts and learn. So I would definitely do that. If someone gave me the option, if you're like, I was like, hey, we got a free day, want to go to the theme park? Like, I'm good. But museum, sure.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I also think a museum. I want to be like, but certain museums. I think learning about the history of where we are and is really interesting. And a theme park is way too overstimulating. I would go to a theme park to get mini donuts and then leave.
There you go. Yeah, and I'll throw it over to Daniel. What about yourself, Daniel? Museum or theme park?
Yeah, I would go with museum, take in some art, less stimulating. I feel like we would all get along really great at the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
good stuff.
We'll
All right.
put it here for now.
Yeah, put it
Okay.
there, and I will pull one out, and you will answer first.
Okay.
All right. Sandcastles or snowmen? Which would you
Oh,
prefer?
snowman.
Yeah.
Yeah, snowman. I love living in the north, and I like winter and the snow and the cold. And now I'm just thinking it would remind me of my childhood.
Yeah.
You know, grew up in northern BC, so yeah.
What do you like
Snowman.
about winter?
The temperature, the coldness. I think it's just beautiful. Like when you look out on a landscape. I like Christmas, like the lights specifically, driving around and looking at the lights. And I like the feel of winter. Like it's like a time of year culturally where you would be like nesting, beading, staying indoors, gathering with your friends, and eating like good moose stew and, like hearty food. Where in the summer, it's not quite like that. And snow melts, sand gets everywhere.
Good
So,
point. Practical,
yeah. Yeah, I just love the way it looks and feels.
Great. Yeah, awesome. That's good to know. Yeah, I actually would feel the same way if again given the option. I would probably say, yeah, let's go outside in winter. I do quite a bit of snowshoeing and hiking in winter, and yeah, I find that people don't maybe experience the mountains in winter as much because it's not that peak summertime busy camping season. It's very quiet, very still. And everything's frozen, and it's just a different experience.
Yeah, the falls in the mountains are beautiful when they're frozen.
True. Yeah. So I would, I guess, probably say that. And yeah, I don't mind hot weather, but I don't love hot days. Yeah. Throw it over to Daniel. How about yourself?
Yeah. What were the two options? Was it
Snowman or
Snowman or
sandcastle?
sandcastle.
snowman or
Yeah, if you want to
sandcastle?
build it, yeah.
Yeah, I would go with. I feel like we had this earlier today, but so I'm gonna go with snowmen. Yes, snowmen. Get
Okay.
outside. Yes, because it's been so long since I've made one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. We'll hope we get a new one. We'll do one more. If we've done it before today, then we'll just pick a new question.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess you'll pull out
Okay.
the question, Rhonda.
I was looking away like
Yeah,
a surprise ticket. Oh, well, I like this one. Shoes or sandals?
Very kind of similar, yeah. Yeah, I think I would probably choose shoes. So if we think of an activity, yeah, not so much for like hanging out on the beach, walking in sandals, as much as that can be comfortable. Yeah, I'd probably put some shoes on and go hiking. So how about yourself?
Sandals.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
There's sandals. Yeah.
I'll wear sandals as long as possible. November.
Oh, yeah.
But they're slip hazards. But yeah, sandals. I have a large collection, and I don't like my toes confined. That's why I like sandals.
Fair, yeah, great. Yeah, throw over to Daniel. Preference, sandals or shoes?
Yeah, I guess I would say shoes. I can rock the odd set of Crocs every now and then. I don't know if that's like an in-between, but there you go.
I think it's an in-between. Yeah.
Nice, good stuff. Well, that's our this or that game. And then so we'll move on to our tumbling towers game. And so have you played this game before?
I've played the Jenga before.
Yeah, same game. Yeah. So we're pretty loose with the rules, but generally not picking from the first top three. And then if you want to poke around and you find one that's loose, it's not the first one you touch necessarily, but each one corresponds to a question. So I guess I don't know. I guess I'll go first.
Sure. Ooh.
38. Yeah, that was 38. And I'll be asking you this question. Okay. When was the last time you were fully in the moment?
Oh, I have a video of it.
Oh.
After. Yesterday, actually, driving home from Janvier, one of our rural communities, you drive by a lake and it's like from here to the door is really close to you, and you can pull in and down. And so I stopped and put my feet in the water, picked some fallen driftwood for some art, and then just sat there for a while connecting with it. You could hear the water. And thought like it's been a while since I've been able to connect with the land. And so it was yesterday. Yeah,
that's good. Quite recent.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was nice and cool too.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
When was the last time I was fully in the moment? I think like recently it was Father's Day a little while ago, and my family usually gets together, and we got together as a family at my parents' place, and we're all together and talking and enjoying each other's company, and everyone was just kind of there and very present, and it was a nice family gathering. So that's my answer.
Nice.
Throw it over to Daniel. When was the last time you were in the moment?
Yeah, I think honestly, another moment that comes to mind is on the drive up here. It's a long drive, and it's just able to sit there and take it in, and I think I was fairly present in parts of the drive at least. Always focused on the road, of course. Yeah. But probably on the drive up here.
Yes, good stuff. All right, we'll pull another tile. Your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks pretty loose. Yeah.
I guess I don't want to let it fall.
No, it did. It's only
21.
What's your favorite smell?
Oh. I like bakery smells. There's a Scentsy bar that they no longer make called Oats and Honey, and it smells like oats and honey. But like if you imagine what like cinnamon oatmeal would kind of smell like, that's my most favorite smell. But any bakery smell, candles and stuff, is my favorite.
Nice. Yeah, it comes to mind for me. I like to maybe on the weekend or evening or something, watch a movie, and I always like to make popcorn, and then I'm like melting the margarine, and that smell like that. It's just just so delicious, and the popping, and that's kind of a smell. There's a bit of a smell to the popping of the corn, and it's lots of good memories watching movies and hanging out, and so that always brings that out, and I'm always really anticipating the delicious popcorn that I'm going to have. So I would say it's probably one of my favorite smells.
I think it's probably one of mine too.
Yeah, okay. And I'll throw it over to Daniel if he has a favorite smell.
The first thing that comes to mind is just lavender. There's a lavender candle. We'll sniff it.
All right.
So there you go.
Nice. All right, we'll go again. It's my turn to pull out a tile. Ooh, that one was very loose. 39. We have 38, we have 39. What are you afraid of? If you need a second,
just a minute.
Could be very
no, nothing like that. Okay. I think sometimes making the wrong decision, but not in a dangerous way or anything like that. But I always like to take time to kind of consider things, and sometimes you don't have time, so it brings up a lot of anxiety about making a decision, and I've never really been steered wrong, but that's something that I fear. I don't like spiders,
Sure.
but
Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah.
going there. It's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a very natural thing to fear.
yeah,
The unknown and have that bit of a time pressure. Or
Yeah.
Make a decision.
yeah.
Absolutely. I don't think I'm going to go that deep. I'm just going to be a little more superficial with this answer. We have a house, and there's like a basement. It's like not like you can walk down there, but it's not like a developed basement. It's like a creepy basement with beams and creepiness, and a creepy door. And I go down there if I need to get stuff, but I just run out every time because I just like there's got to be something down there. I know there isn't.
Yeah.
It just creeps me out. I'm afraid of my little crawl space basement. That
Yeah.
we have. Yeah. But yeah, that's something I might be afraid of. It's very totally irrational, but it's the dark.
That was in my
creepiness.
grandma's basement.
Right?
We'd run up the stairs.
Basements are
yeah.
creepy. And,
Yeah.
That's fine. Daniel, anything that you're afraid of?
Yeah, I think I just getting sick from food, like food poisoning, eating some old food. I just hate that feeling, and every time when it happens, you're like, I shouldn't have made that decision, you know? So yeah, just being mindful of the food and how long it's been out, or yeah.
That's where the smelling comes into play for your least
Yeah.
favorite smell.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, we'll do maybe one more. We've got time for maybe one
Okay.
more.
Is it me?
trial.
Ooh.
Yeah, I pulled that last
This is a
one.
little scary.
Right? So it's getting a little more precarious.
Nope.
Oh,
that's fun.
Great.
If I can read upside down,
23.
23. You do pretty good.
Hmm.
I'm gonna put it in the middle.
What do you feel is something that people are missing out on?
Oh, art.
Art, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by how many people I know that I don't know that they don't enjoy art, but they're like, hey, I got art and art show. Do you want to come? But I think the creation of art and people say, oh, I can't draw or I can't paint. Well, everybody can draw or paint. It's just a matter of it looks good. But I think all art is good for me. And so I think I wish more people would use that as a strategy in life. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Makes me happy and calm
Great.
when I do it. So
Perfect. Yeah, great. That's a great answer.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess for myself, I feel that I really like we're in Lethbridge, the Lethbridge Public Library, but all libraries. I think they offer a lot of resources and things like we have the Library of Things. So you can actually sign out physical items. So it's like reducing consumption and waste. So you could sign out snowshoes or binoculars or all sorts of things. So I feel like a lot of people don't really know about that, and that they're kind of missing out on some free things they could be signing out instead of buying them. So I always try to tell people about the Library of Things when I get a chance.
that's so interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll throw it over to Daniel if he has something that he feels that people are missing out on.
Yeah, I think for myself, like the first thing that comes to mind is like stretching. I don't know. I think it helps me a lot. And so whenever I know I always feel better after I do it, and I feel better after I do it. So stretching is the thing I would offer. Yeah.
Great, perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all the time we have for this segment. It's been nice to.
We
play
didn't
some
knock it
icebreaking.
over?
We didn't.
No.
You can if you want to push it, but
No.
yeah. But this has been the icebreaker segment. So
Yeah.
So this was Tell Us Story Hives on location in Fort McMurray. I'm Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability, and this is my co-host.
Daniel J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta, and this is
Rhonda Robinson, local Métis artist and community volunteer.
All right. We will be right back. Welcome to Tell a Story Hive on location in Fort McMurray. I'm Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is my co-host,
Daniel J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. And this is...
Rhonda Robinson, local Métis artist and community volunteer.
Great. Yeah. So I enjoyed our little icebreaker segment and
That
got
was
to know
fun.
each other a little bit. Yeah. The Jenga didn't fall, the tumbling towers.
Yeah,
That's always
we
good.
did good.
We did good. Good on the trivia. So good start.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. But this segment we kind of call the interview, and we just really like to learn about creative, artistic people's journeys. Everyone's journey is unique and different. And just ask you some questions about that and
Sure.
learn about your business and involvement in the community and all that good stuff. And it'll be great.
Yeah.
I guess maybe like you gave us a brief introduction, but if you could maybe elaborate just a little bit more about, tell me about your creative practice / business.
Sure. So my business is Spirit Creative. And I always wanted to work for myself. So I've worked in the nonprofit sector, helping people, doing all kinds of different employment, disability, addiction, so many different roles within that 25 years. And through those years, I always thought about I want to go to art school. And when I was young, my mom said she couldn't keep enough paper tape and scissors and all that. I was always constructing something out of the paper. And, it was always there, but it was I had this good career path and I had all these opportunities. And I had a stepdaughter come into my life in 2008. And when she was 3, she was in Head Start program in Grand Prairie, which is for Indigenous children. And I made her regalia. So she was a fancy dancer. She had the shawl and her moccasins, and I beaded them. And they told me to choose something very easy, but I didn't. And that was when I fell in love with beading. Which then, of course, brought me into groups of women and men, but mostly women who I could connect with. And then I kind of got brave in the last couple of years to go to some paint classes. Not the pub night paint classes, but ones, actually a local artist that I think you guys are interviewing was one of the first ones I went to for multimedia. And I fell in love with multimedia, which if you saw my craft space, you would see I have all the supplies for everything. And I just started creating time in my life, I'm going to say in the last year, to really be able to do that. And 3 days ago, I applied for my funding for online art school. And that's sort of where art came. And I just feel good when I do it, and I bead every day as a hobby, and people want to buy it. So it's also part of my business. And the other pieces are I do contracts with different Métis groups and on reserve businesses that hire me to do things, and some local nonprofits facilitating cultural workshops, so teaching other people how to do what I love so much. And then public speaking around addiction and mental health and recovery. And I have a really neat contract with a local organization called Girls Inc. of Northern Alberta. Shout out to them. And I get to work with young Indigenous women in their communities, being welcomed in. And we talk about self-esteem, anti-bullying, mental health awareness, emotional regulation, and beading. I bring in art into all of it. We're always creating something and teaching them, you can do these things at home for low cost or no cost, because I'll use what's outside sometimes for that art. So I get to choose who I work with, and I get to choose what kind of work I do. I live with some health conditions, which I don't have to work 40 hours a week with the work that I do, so I'm able to take care of my health as well. And so, that's a little bit about it. My really good friend, my best friend, helped me come up with the name, and I insisted the word soul needed to be in it, and she's like, no, spirit. And so for 6 months, we went back and forth I still have the list on my phone with just all different words. And I just sat up one night and I was like, I have it. She's a graphic designer and she designed my logo. So it was very special. We did all that before all the other stuff. So we started, you know, a little bit different. But in 2021, I have registered my business. And so it's been 5 years. But most of it's happened in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it seems like you have a lot of things going on with your business and your creative practice. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. I wouldn't mind, like, because we have the time to kind of go back. You talked about that first time that you beaded the moccasins for your stepdaughter, and then you were involved with a community group, women's group. You said, yeah. Tell me more about your involvement with the women's group at that time.
Yeah, so at the time it was through the Friendship Center in Grand Prairie. Where the programming was all happening and the Head Start program. And so the two women who taught me how to bead, they were just they are so lovely. They're still lovely people and just so gentle and nurturing, and like there was no pressure, you know, and they would show me over and over and over again. I was able to draw some of my friends in, you know, to hang out with. And some of the women that I met in those beading circles in 2010, 2011, I still talk to today, even though we live, you know, 7.5 hours away. And when I go back there, they always want me to come to the beading circle because it still is happening. And yeah, it had been a long time, if ever, that I sat in a connected way with women in a healthy way. And we were doing something for the kids, which made it really good. I stopped for a while. And then when COVID happened, I had nothing to do. And I, at that time, had 3 jobs and volunteered a lot. And of course, we were all stuck at home. And so a friend of mine gifted me a pair of earrings. She called them roses for Rhonda. And I was like, I could make those. And so she kind of told me how, the steps. And I just started beading. And that's what I did while we were locked down, and got better at it and felt good. Again, joined some online women's circles that I was invited to, met some amazing ladies from this community. And I just think it's just so healing to do, especially if it's not a piece that somebody's asked me to do in a very specific way. I'll do that, but I like just to start doing something, lay the colors out, or sometimes I just randomly pick stuff and just make something, and it feels good. What else am I going to do with my time? No, but that's my meditation, and teaching other women to do that, especially in the roles that I've had where it's been like women in recovery, because shortly after I started beading, I chose recovery, as a path. And we say that when you're using substances as an Indigenous person, you shouldn't be participating. Shouldn't be. It's recommended not to participate. So, like, not to make things for people, because you're putting that energy in and you're disconnected from spirit. When I did these women addiction circles here as work, we introduced beading and painting and sewing and paint, just everything, all kinds of art. And some of those individuals, men and women, now bead and make money, for that. And like, that's so rewarding to give what was given so freely to me, especially to other people in recovery. Because when we stop using drugs and alcohol, you have to find something to do with your time, or the chances of you going back are pretty high, right? So it's been a way for me really to connect and remind myself of why I keep on my own journey of recovery. So on June 15th, it was 11 years of complete abstinence for me. So just recently. And I always share that. I get a little emotional sometimes. So people know it's possible, right? That there's a lot of just for today's. About 4,228 of them now, where it was just for today that I made that decision. And if it encourages one person to share it, I think that's really important for people to know it's never too late, and anything's possible when you make that decision. I wouldn't have thought I was going to be a business owner living in Fort McMurray successfully, when I came in, right? So, yeah, so I like to share that story. Lots for women, to sit, like, you can be empowered and you can sustain yourself, and pay your way through your skills, rather than working in a colonial system, that sometimes limits women in what we're able to do. So,
well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That was lovely. Yeah, there's a lot to digest there. I guess, what was that like when you first started out in those groups? Yeah, I guess just like beating with other women, supporting them through their recovery. What kind of feelings did that bring out for you?
I think at the time I didn't really know, but I just kept going because it felt good. And then when I entered recovery, it felt really good, right? Because then I could connect, and they said, like, every bead tells a story. People would be around talking about, do you want to build a snowman or a sandcastle, right? Like, so, but the conversation that occurs when you're creating anything in a group of people is pretty amazing. It's not normal table conversation. And so I think I was able to let my guard down. I've had women hurt me in my life and let them in, and I guess let people love me, and because I had a hard time doing that before. And I just learned so much from them, from their stories. Maybe some of them, are moms like me, and the way they got through the things that I was going through. And so a lot of those women initially were not in recovery and didn't need to be, so they were living lives that I wanted to live in a way that was attractive to me. And then my friends that I brought in were women in recovery, be like, come check this out. Like, this feels really good. And it gave me something to do and a sense of community. because the sense of community I had before that was really distorted. Yeah, like just all of it was, there was a lot there. And so I think I was desperate for that connection, and I didn't know until I had it, right? So yeah, you get a group of women together and some pretty powerful things happen in that room. Yeah.
I bet they do, yeah, yeah. I feel like there's just something about just, like you said, just you're working with your hands, you're talking, it's not, it's just, there's a different connection there for sure. And
Yeah.
it sounds very, very meaningful. I guess so you're building that community, you're discovering that. I guess kind of if you had to choose, like what came next in your journey as a creative person / business owner?
I think one of the major decisions I made was when I moved to Fort McMurray in 2016. So I'd been a year in recovery at that point. And I needed to leave where I was for all kinds of reasons. And the wildfire happened here, and I worked in the nonprofit sector, and there was a huge need. There was a surplus of funding. They were hiring people. And so my son was 18 and had graduated, and was in his first year at the local college there, starting his journey. And I packed my mini van full of everything I could, and I brought my soul dog, who's since passed away, in the front seat, stacked up almost to the roof. And we moved to Fort McMurray blindly. I had a place, but I'd never seen it. I had a job, but it was all done virtually. And it's one of the best decisions I ever made. And just really quickly got connected to the community. And there are women in my life here who have positioned me to be where I am today. They have mentioned my name in a room full of people, or they have mentioned my name when they can't do something they believe I can do that I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. And they're like, you can do this. And so these aren't women in recovery. These are other business owners, or women in the community. I have found the right women, I always say, if you want friends who will mention your name when it would be to your advantage. And that was instrumental in the last 2 years for me, for sure, with getting some substantial contract work, which then gets my name out there. I like to interact with people face to face, and I think there's a value in that rather than virtual, which was nice when you guys came to the community here. There's a difference in that. And Fort McMurray's been good to me. The nonprofits that I've volunteered with on their boards have strengthened me. My ability to understand governance and policy and structure. And so that's helped me build my business in, I think, a sustainable way. And I take advantage of any grants, or like, hey, put your name in for this. And I just recently got a 6-month media package from a local media company who's going to do my social media, sent me some really amazing things for my website. You won't get it if you don't apply, right? So I apply for a lot of things, and that's really helped my business along the way too.
Yeah, and that community that you found here, that's great.
Yeah.
And I guess so. Yeah, you moved here. How long did it take to kind of build that community network once you moved here?
Well, because I went right to the recovery community, the program of recovery I choose, I showed up and said, hey, I'm new here. I need to meet some women, because there was just a lot of men, and they told me where I could find them. And so I went and introduced myself, and usually in our groups, when you're new to the community, or that people are going to come talk to you and include you. And so that was my first sense of community, was connecting with them, which is an important part of my journey. And then the girls that I worked with, was like, what do you guys do for fun? where's good places to go. And then I started volunteering and met some really good people through friends. You know, some of friends that are the people I call when I need to. I've met through volunteering. So I just dove in. I don't know how to do anything half.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
And during that time of moving and getting to know people here, were you still beading?
When I first moved here, like I brought everything with me. I didn't have what I have now. And I started joining beading circles. So McMurray Métis, where I'm a member, they had a beading group at the Friendship Center. And so I search for things to do. Like I'll go on social media, phone, and I joined a beading circle. And I met a group of women, you know, that encouraged me to teach classes. And so that's also grown my business. They have positioned me to be where I am today. Yeah, I think it would have been a lot harder to be where I am without them. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, I think we can talk a bit more about your business specifically. We've got some good background, and you did talk about how like your friend and you created the name and stuff. But yeah, maybe tell me a little bit more about that time when you decided, hey, I want to start this business. Yeah, what was that like for you?
I think it was as I learned more about my culture and became more self-aware of like my strengths and my skill sets. And like I've managed large teams and I've managed small teams and I've managed myself. I realized that working in a structure that limits what I can do and how I can interact. So for example, when I was working within the addictions work, it was amazing work, a great organization, lots of benefits, all kinds of things. But I need those women in my life for my recovery. And I chose to leave the field for that reason, because there had to be boundaries. They were my clients, right? And it created some tension when I would be in the recovery space. Or people would be approaching me for work stuff. And I'm like, I'm just here as a person. I just need this hour, you know? And so I was like, well, what am I going to do? You know? And my friend, two of them, my friend Ginger and my friend Lori, always said to me since I met them, I moved here, you need to work for yourself. You should be a consultant. You need to stop giving people that information for free. You know, because people would call me and pick my brain. And I was like, well, no, I, you know, can help them. And then I started to listen and go, yeah, like this could actually be how I earn my money doing stuff that I love. And apparently I did it backwards. I got involved with Indigenous tourism and they put me through a bunch of mentorship programs on how to provide authentic Indigenous experiences. Like all senses need to be considered, you know, at the experience. Every little detail needs to be coordinated, and to be a tourism operator, which I almost am. And they taught me a lot about like business structure. And there was a program called the Catalyst program, and they actually brought a consultant in. He actually passed away 2 months after our project finished. Broke my heart. He was 75 and he had worked in safety for 35, 40 years. And like he did the safety on the New Year's drop, the ball that drops, and he's showing me all these amazing pictures. And he did my safety manual, and it was a whole new world for him. And he was like this little boy that was just fascinated by the work. And that program, I have a complete structure of my organizations and policies in relation to everything. So if I ever hire a staff, it's like, this is how we do things here. But it also legitimizes me for grants and things like that. And then I got some funds at the end of that to be able to purchase some things. And I was beading him a Métis flag, which is like the infinity symbol with blue. And I was taking longer than I probably should have. And he passed away before I could give it to him. And so it's really special to me. So I'm going to frame it and put a picture of him and I on it. But, you know, that's sort of kind of how it evolved, was also my mentors at Indigenous tourism, their encouragement, like, you can do this also with all the other stuff you're doing, you know, which sounds like a lot, because I also teach suicide intervention, but I also have a lot of free time. So I'm able to manage all of that. And it turned out to be a good thing because of my health. So it's like the universe aligned everything. And I believe it's because I just kept making the next right decision, despite the fear of making the wrong decision, is even if it was hard, right? Just did what needed to be done. I learned that from my mom.
Nice. And you said at the beginning that you did it backwards. What do you mean by
I started
that?
with a name.
Okay, yes, you started with a
I mean,
name,
most
yeah.
people don't start with a name.
Yeah.
But I knew that I had something to offer. So we did the name and the logo before anything else. But, you know, my friend Karen, she knows me, you know, and she just said the word spirit embodies who I am. And that the birds going off my logo, she sent me 3 to choose from. It's like my life, right? It's like, you know, partway through, it's like I'm gonna fly now, and do what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd be good to come up with a name and a logo. Why not? Like,
Yeah.
if that's where you're
Yeah.
starting, yeah, I don't think there's any right way to do it.
You know, because people are like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't really know yet.
You know, okay, fair.
I think I knew.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah.
Interesting, yeah. And so, yeah, you had that mentorship through Tourism Alberta. Yeah, what would have come next in your journey as a creative business owner?
So next, online art school. I think 3 courses at a time would fit with my schedule. So hopefully in the fall, that'll happen in September. And then I have some mentorship from some local artists that's ongoing. And very soon I will be on Tourism Alberta, an Indigenous tourism site for people traveling to book an experience with me. And they'll be tailored. But there's a local Indigenous tourism member who owns some property, or sorry, it's on Crown land, teepees, and it's for Northern Lights viewing. But the international travelers are looking for more to do. And so we're going to partner, and I'm going to go check out the property in person, and they'll be able to book something for me, and then I'll go out there and spend the night and teach them whatever they have, menu of stuff, whatever they choose. And we get a lot of international travelers here because of the Northern Lights. And it's a 3 to 4 night stay, and guarantees you're going to see them one night. And so I think it'll be cool to be part of that and learn about other people's culture. And I'm applying for lots of different contracts across Canada, and I've had a couple interviews, which is exciting. I just have to learn how to sell my business, not myself, because I'm my brand, and they want to know what your business can do. And I don't think everybody understands I am my business. So, or maybe I don't understand, you know, but the one place really helped me think about, she said I did good, but to think about when I get an opportunity again, how to present it differently. Because I'm my worker, but I'm not my business, in a sense, is what she said, kind of. It was helpful. Yeah.
Good. That's great. Yeah, well, that sounds like a really cool collaboration with the Northern Lights and different experiences. That's awesome. Yeah, I guess like with Spirit Creative, like it sounds like you have a really strong background in nonprofit, and you have that experience with beading and stuff. But yeah, I'm curious, like with your business, like was there any other skill you had to develop that like really you weren't good at yet or already?
I say no, but no, I like financial stuff, like the paperwork stuff. You know, the stuff that's really important, the tracking documents, and I'd say the consistency in doing them. So I actually have a business coach who has worked with me since 2017 in about 5 different capacities. And I've never had to pay for it. So it's been through local grants. And we're working right now on that organization. And she's really good at what she does. And so we meet and what's next. And one of them was I had paper everywhere. I'd write stuff on just randomly, and books. And I could never find anything. It was always here, but I wanted to see it. So I use my iPad, and I have an app in there, and I have a book for everything. And so it's always there. You don't need Wi-Fi to use it. It'll save without it, right? So when I go into the rural communities, I can use it. So that's one strategy that her and I came up with, and she's encouraging me to do Speaker One profiles for public speaking and to apply to conferences on addiction and mental health to speak at them as paid opportunities. So that's a real dream to do that. So, but it's not an unreachable dream. Yeah, it requires paperwork. So we're getting there. Yeah.
And I mean, that's a pretty common, I think, struggle for especially artistic, creative people. That's
is it?
I think, I think most
that's
people
good.
would say like budgeting, paperwork. They're not usually good at those things that are maybe require more logistical thinking. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and I think the contracts and memorandums of understanding, because in Indigenous culture, it's just like, hey, can you do this? Yeah, let's do this. And so I'm learning that I still need to say, this is what I require for myself to be covered. Nothing bad's ever happened, but you never know. And I do an awful lot of work before the final pay comes, right? So I've learned to ask for deposits. That, those are skills I had to learn, because I'm pretty like, oh, it's okay, next month's fine. But I don't know, is that business sense? I'm not sure what people call that. That's what I would call it. Like,
yeah, I guess, yeah.
It's not my background,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Again, that's probably natural to, you want
Being
to collaborate,
yeah.
and it's hard to kind of, especially when you yourself are your business essentially. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, whose role is what, right? And what are the expectations? Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Well, I think that's probably all the time we have for this interview segment. But yeah, it's been really great to learn about your journey as a creative and spirit creative. Really enjoyed the conversation. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these pieces and talking more about them. Yeah. So this has been Tell a Story Hive on location here in Fort McMurray. I'm Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability, and this is my co-host
Daniel J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta, and this is
Rhonda Robinson, local Métis artist and community volunteer.
We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back to Tell a Story Hives on location in Fort McMurray. My name is Daniel J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. This is my co-host,
Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is
Rhonda Robinson. I'm a local Métis artist and community volunteer.
and business owner.
And business owner of Spirit Creative.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I thoroughly appreciated your icebreakers and your interview with Michael. It was really wonderful getting to hear about your journey and the wide variety of things that kind of go into your practice and into your business and who you are. So thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, this will be your showcase segment.
Okay.
So we have a couple pieces here that I'm super excited to dive into the story behind them. And I think we might just start with this guy right here.
Okay.
So I'm going to just hold it up here, kind of in the middle, if that's okay.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about this piece? What was it for?
So this piece here, I had a member of a leadership program I took reach out to me and say, hey, do you bead still? Would you be interested in creating the first Indigenous Showcase awards for the students? So it's Wood Buffalo Environmental Association. And we co-designed, back and forth with Canva. And I beaded and then wood burned, and their logo colors are the same as mine. So yeah, I created that, and the students and the judges received one. And then I always make an extra one for myself. I've learned it's important. And then one for the organization as well. And so, yeah, it was for students doing some science fair stuff. Yeah.
And how did you come across that opportunity again?
Yeah, so Selena and I took Leadership with Buffalo, which is a local leadership program, which is phenomenal, 2018. And I just did those recently. And she messaged me on WhatsApp and just said, hey, are you interested? And then I also taught them, their staff team, a workshop on Orange Shirt Day. And they made an orange shirt. I feel like I'm part of their team. Yeah, they're a great group of people.
And what does that mean to you to be able to share this culture and this work with these people?
Oh, they're such a great group of people, and some of them I'd met in other contexts. Sometimes you're not really sure, but you know the person. They were just so gracious and happy, and I love when other people share parts of their culture that are similar. So somewhere across the world where they couldn't possibly have communicated. You're doing very similar things. And I like people to finish. So having it long enough that they can take something home. But a lot of them comment on the conversation that happens more so than what they learned on the feedback forums.
Interesting. Yeah. And that's so interesting to me, because in your interview with Michael, you mentioned for yourself, sitting down with a group of women and your hands are working, you're working on something, but it's almost a conversation that can be just as valuable, it seems like, and that seems to have carried over into this example, at least.
Yeah, I'd say almost even more valuable. Recently I did a workshop, and a local artist, she wrote a poem about her experience with me. And so it was she created this art and then gave me art about what we did. And so, yeah. And supporting Indigenous students, having a piece of culture.
Totally. And then on a more practical, zoomed in kind of scale, what specifically goes into a piece like this? What kind of materials do you have to get? Yeah.
So the base of this is moose hide. I like to use buffalo hide, but the color was nicer. And then the blue is a melton. So it's like a wool. Well, not like a wool, it's wool. So a wool fabric that jackets used to be made out of. So it's pretty soft. And so I had to actually put paper behind it so I could bead on it. And then these are actually size 16 beads, the letter, which means they're really, really small.
Yeah, you can see that.
Because I wanted it to look okay. But I've learned that nothing's perfect and that it's okay that stuff's a little bit crooked. People seem to like that. And then I bought some blue vinyl backing, car vinyl, just so it's not going to fall off or fall apart. And then this is colored moose hide. All the supplies except maybe these beads were bought in Canada as well. I try to do that. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Preferably. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, preferably. Yeah,
And then I use a wood burner to burn
yeah. Nice.
the name on, because that would be a lot of beading. And I like to work with their budget. So
Totally. Yeah, and then getting a sense like with this was wool you mentioned, the blue piece here, and putting paper behind it. Was that something you had encountered before, or was there bits of problem solving, for each thing?
That's how I learned how to bead, was to always add a piece of paper for stability, and I hadn't done it for so long, because when I moved here, they didn't mostly bead right onto the hide, because that's really hard to do.
Right.
And so I was like, how can I make this hard? And I actually use paper bags, the old school lunch bags. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Well, that's super insightful. Thank you for all that insight onto that piece.
The first one I tried, I didn't put paper behind it, and it didn't turn out very good.
Good.
Yeah.
That's super fair. Another piece that I'm excited to talk about is this guy right here.
Yeah.
It says Creed. And what can you tell me about this piece?
So Creed is a band, for people who don't know, and if you don't, check out their music. I went to their concert recently, and they've been my favorite for, I'm going to say, 20 years. Their music saved my life, and a little more emotional. I didn't realize at the time why, but when I was at the concert and could really, I know the lyrics, but I was present and listening, I was like, no wonder why I like them so much, because it's raw and about overcoming, and it's just really powerful music. They say they're not a Christian band, but they're Christians. And so it just, some of that, lifting you up, right? And that, you can succeed and you can get better. And there's a song called Overcome that is really special to me. Just about getting through whatever, and that you can overcome. It's kind of like hard metal. So I beaded that because I didn't have a shirt. I had a shirt, but I didn't have a branded shirt. Yeah. And I whipped that up, and I got lots of compliments on it. And one person asked to buy it, and I said no. So yeah, I just wore it. And their logo is white, and I was like, well, that's kind of boring. And so I added they're actually tricolor beads around it that look gold. And then on the back is buffalo hide. And then because I don't know how to bead the wrap beading for the nice lanyards, I just cut the hide myself into the strips. And yeah, I actually have a stamp, a branded stamp. It's not on anything I brought, I don't think. You get it hot, and I put it on the hide, and it puts my brand on the back of it too. So I just recently bought that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I really appreciate you opening up and sharing that. And what does it mean to you to be able to commemorate that, experience really? And yeah, you mentioned, you said it kind of saved your life.
Yeah.
And so what does that mean to kind of commemorate that? And
well, because that hangs in my bedroom on my mirror, so I see it all the time, and I'm like, I'll see them again one day. Yeah. They're a bit older, but they're going to be in Edmonton this summer, and who knows, maybe I'll get there to wear it again. But yeah, it was a really good experience, and it was costly, but it was worth it. Totally. Yeah. Oh, yeah, really... you could feel the music in your bones. Yeah. It was so good. Yeah.
And there were people who love it as
well.
Well.
Yeah, there definitely was, and a good friend of mine came along with me, and so that's always nice too, right? To have somebody who appreciates music as much as I do. Music's a big part of my life. It's always on. I'd rather that than TV.
Oh yeah.
It's more interesting.
Yeah. Oh, that's super fair. Very cool. Okay. I would like to pivot to these guys right here. We got a lovely set of earrings.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about these?
So I just made those last week.
Okay.
On the 20th was our Pride Festival. And I was here when they had the first Pride Festival. It wasn't a festival. It was a declaration. And over the years, I've been able to facilitate workshops as an ally, a very strong ally to the queer community. And when I go to the fest, it's one of the only markets I do anymore. I like to have some pride-themed things and bright. And I did a series of about 6 colors, and those were one of them. I had a client in Grand Prairie come into my office. I was a manager, and came out to me as transgender, and I had no idea what it meant. This was 2015. Zero idea. And I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't know how to help you, but I'm going to figure it out. And I did. There was an organization there that helped them. And I just kept thinking about them. And I'm like, I'm never going to be in a position where I don't know what to say. I didn't say the wrong thing, but where I don't know what to say to somebody. They're a very marginalized community. Targeted, and I'm on their board of directors. And so I get to be on that board, and I get to learn from them how to be a better human being. And I do believe in everybody has quality, and everybody should be able to do what they want with who they want. And so, yeah, it's really important to me. I think of that individual a lot. I don't know where they are today, but I know that they felt more supported when they were connected with their community who could help them. So I think it's important to know our community resources to be able to help the people in our lives.
And to be an ally, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for that insight behind that. Yeah. I would be remiss if we didn't touch on this piece. Just because
my favorite.
It is your favorite. And so what can you tell me about this?
I just, so those are deer antlers. Those are actually from North Dakota.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so they wet cut them with a wet saw, I guess.
Right.
And so I ordered them, and I just kind of was going to do a full flower, but it was really bulky. So I did that, and then pink's not a color I would choose. And I was like, I'm going to pick pink. But I fell in love with it as I did it. And then these are polished wolf teeth hanging there. And then that's buffalo hide on the back. And for the lacing, I don't know. I just love it. And I've been asked how much it is at the market. And I was like, it's not for sale. So I think I'm going to keep it. And I have a pair of earrings started to match it. And maybe it can go for fashion shows or something. But I want to retain possession of it. So I'm just really drawn to it. Yeah.
And what does it mean? Is this like one of the first pieces that you've like, I'm keeping it, other than the creed maybe? But yeah.
This was finished before I made that, but I didn't show anybody. Because I was like, I really like this. And part of the creative process was leaving that where I could see it. Just to think, you know, because I know I could sell it and make good money, but I made it during a time of transformation, you know, when I reflect. So that might be it, but it's classy and it's kind of plain, but.
And sorry, how did you come across like these bits as well? Like,
well, just searching different places online. So I actually have a list of places that I can order things from. These are from Amazon, the deer antlers. I went on there looking to see. And then when I saw they were from North Dakota and they come from like in a farm packaging, I was like, well, I can support that, you know. I can't remember where these were specifically, but yeah, there's probably about 15 sites that I search for stuff on.
Nice. That's amazing. Nice. I think there's at least one more piece that I definitely want to get to. And that is this back here. So I'll pull that out. It says you matter. And what context can you provide for me here on this piece?
Yeah, so that one was actually in the first art show I've ever been in. It was called Collective Threads locally. And Michelle, one of the staff at Arts Council, was like, you got to bring stuff, but I didn't have anything. So I started walking around my house and took a picture off the wall that I made a couple of them. And this was one And I had the opportunity to speak for the Mental Health Commission of Canada to grade 5 students in Fort Chipewyan, which is one of our communities north of here that I get to go into and work. And I just had this idea that I needed a shirt or something that said "You matter," because we were talking about like mental health, suicide survivor, all that kind of stuff. And I couldn't find anybody to make me one. Like just everybody was busy, and I was like, I'm gonna beat this. A friend of mine, amazing artist, one of my favorite, she made me a pair of pill bottle earrings with and she doesn't do custom orders, but she did them with a little pill hanging for it too. And that's why these are the colors that were chosen, was because that's what she chose. And I just wanted the kids who are in a community impacted by addiction, suicide, and mental health to see that, you know, while I was with them for those couple hours. I think there's power in the words that we use, and I've worn it a couple times since, and it's another piece that I'm not. I mean, if I had a youth ask me for that, I might be like, yeah, you can have it. But it was a really special time to be up there doing that. There was another young lady who came and spoke to, and it connected her and I, you know, so I got to meet somebody who was like a younger me. So, yeah, I think people need to know that they matter. When we think of, you know, people who die by suicide and people who struggle with mental health often feel like they don't matter and that nobody sees them. And our local communities are in a state of local emergency for many years. And I just thought it was important. And I did that in 2 nights.
Oh,
So,
wow.
like I was up late.
Yeah.
It takes a while. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. I think that's a beautiful sentiment to end off on. And hearing that from you, and that you get to share that message with people. And I think the words that we use do matter. So.
Yeah. And one of the teachers came up and shared a little bit with me, and you know, it was important for her to see that too. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. I think that is all the time that we have for our showcase segment here. So I just want to thank you so much for bringing these and for sharing the stories behind them and the context for everything. It really means a lot. Yeah.
Thank you for being interested.
Of course. Yeah. Awesome. This has been Tell Us Story Hives on location in Fort McMurray. I'm Daniel J. Perryman, local theatre maker and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. This is my co-host,
Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is
Rhonda Robinson, local Métis artist, community volunteer, and business owner.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching.